It's been a really tough season. We gave them a really hard schedule to compete with, and and there were definitely some challenges with that. So right now, we're just really thankful to have the opportunity to go. We really emphasized to them to have a strong finish at the conference championship, and that would weigh really heavily into the decision as to who made it into the nationals rankings, and I think they did just that, and they definitely earned their space to earn their position to go to the national championship. And so we're just really thankful for the opportunity to go there, to experience that, to give that to our seniors.
Do you feel prepared going into competition this next week? And what have you done to prepare for nationals?
We do. It's really just been more of the same. As we get a little closer into the postseason, we start riding our athletes more often, more times per week, sometimes in longer sessions. And so just really trying to fine tune those details. So there's not major changes that happen, but you really just get to focus on those athletes who are actually going to be competing at the championship, and just getting to be really specific in their skill.
What is your team most looking forward to during the national championship this year?
I think it's just the opportunity to be there. Honestly, I think having that taken away last year, I mean, this whole semester, this whole schedule has been focused on, it could have been so much worse. We could have not had the opportunity to compete this year. Everything got taken away, in spring of 2020. And so just keeping our perspective on the fact that we do get to have a season, we did get to have a Big 12 championship, we are getting the opportunity to go to the national championship, I think is what we've really been focusing on and what the team's so excited about.
What have been some of the challenges of this season, and how has your team overcome any of those challenges?
This spring has been everything from an extraordinary ice storm to some COVID related issues that we've had to reschedule meets. Everything's been abnormal. Nothing has been as it has been in previous years. And so for them, it's just been being flexible. We've stressed on our athletes the need to be flexible and just kind of roll with the punches and be prepared for anything and focus on what they can control. I think they've done a great job of that. It's really been a day by day, week by week decision on how things are going to go. But at the end of the day, we got to get all the competitions in that we plan to have, just not in the order we plan to have them. So I think it's made them better. I think it's made them more mentally tough, and I think it's made them more thankful. It's been hard on them physically and mentally. It's definitely been hard on them, but they got their season, and that's what we continue to focus on, being more grateful of the fact that we did get to compete versus having to cancel meets or not having the opportunity to compete now in the postseason.
What have been some of your team's strengths throughout this year, and how can those things help your team be successful at nationals?
I think definitely overcoming adversity. I just think there's been so much that's happened to them, and I know that's been the case for so many teams as well, but it's just been a lot. It's been a lot week after week, for them just to have, again, those uncontrollables just thrown at them, and they've overcome them all, with grace. It's not always been easy, but they've picked themselves back up, and they've just attacked every competition. I think, for them to be able to come off of such a hard spring schedule and really attack the conference championship was huge for us, and a big confidence booster, and we're going to hopefully carry that momentum into the national championship.
How does preparation for the national championship differ from regular season prep?
The biggest thing for us is that we're just not practicing the entire team at the end of the season. Once we get focused into conference championships and the national championship, we're trimming down that roster size, and so that those athletes can practice more often during the week, longer periods if they need to. And so like I said, you can just get more specific in what you're doing, and not feel rushed, or pressed for time or thin on horses or anything like that. And so just really creating more opportunity for those girls who are going to be in there to be competing to be better prepared.
And lastly, what are you expecting to see from your team as you begin competition on Thursday?
I always tell them everything's fair game in the postseason. No matter how you're ranked going into nationals, everything's up for grabs. Everyone's on a neutral location. And so I think if they can have one of those really strong whole team performances like they did in both rounds of the Big 12 championship, I think anything's up for grabs. And so we're really just pushing them to come out swinging and fight for every single ride, every single point like they did when we hosted Big 12 a couple weeks ago.